Where?
Your thumb.
No, I just wrapped it.
Why'd you wrap your nail?
Oh, it's
So
square.
to grow. And they filed it on
They found it square. Why do you like square nails?
I don't
What's
know.
wrong with
It's
you?
too short for oval now.
Says who?
Did we
It's too
approve that?
short.
This girl doesn't know her job. And did you pay her?
I pay him or him.
Ah, you will collect our money back. We
Him.
can't live like this. These are not conducive working
Mike's up.
conditions.
Studio live. Good morning, Lagos, and welcome inside the locker room. It's the locker room 981. I'm Ayo Myra Essay.
And I'm Valentine. Oh, good morning.
Good morning. It's your love music, love life station, Smooth 98.1. Of course, when we say the locker room, you know who's with us in the studio. She's dancing, so today is definitely a good day. Please give it up for Tega the Tiger Supreme.
Give it up, Nipples. Now
gave
give
it
it up
up.
now.
Okay.
Ah,
Oh,
what is
Lord.
this?
Hold on.
Good morning,
It's too early to
Lagos.
reveal it, Tega, please. Wow.
You know who is coming to, so you treat me like the African princess I am. Good morning, Lagos. How you doing? Hope you're
Fine,
doing
thank you.
great.
We're
Okay.
doing great, Tega. Thank you so much. Find Tega at Tega Supreme on Twitter, and of course, Elias International for the work she does with ladies in sports.
And please join the conversation by sending us messages on our WhatsApp number 0809 444 0981. We're live on YouTube, and you can send messages through that platform, and also use Twitter at Smooth981FM with the hashtag LockerRoom981.
Okay, so let's go straight into our first story for today. It's women's national basketball, and the Women's National Basketball Association and the Women's National Basketball Players Association announced today that they have reached an agreement on a new collective bargaining agreement as CBA pending ratification by the players and the league's board of governors. The 2020 CBA features significant investments by the league and its teams aimed directly at increasing player salary and compensation, improvements to the overall player experience, resources specifically designed with the professional female athlete in mind, as well as a commitment to implement an integrated marketing plan league-wide. Sounds
Yes.
yummy.
Sounds big, and
Mm-hmm.
it is historic in making. I like the way also the announcement came out. So it was the head of the WNBA board, and then the head of the MBP MBPA board. So yeah, the WNBA is just the Women's National Basketball League, but the NWMBPA is a players association. They are powerful. That association is headed by Neka Ogumike. Oh, don't shout! Oh, she's Nigerian. She's of Nigerian descent. She's not Nigerian. So but she is the head of that association, and they've been battling around many things, and it's a deal specific to the WNBA. It's very different from the men's own, not because the men have more money to play around with, but there are things like maternity, child care support, and things that concern women. They've also improved their flights, their trips, so it's not just about salary, it's all
Yeah,
encompassing.
package.
And yes, and specific to the women, so you cannot say you, so that if you should you choose to start a family, you won't start thinking, how do we do this, how do we do that. Everything is made available for you, which is it's tailor made, which is what makes it even more impressive. So I like the fact that when they start, once they got to the table, the first thing the players association said is, we're going to make a deal
Mm-hmm.
with the players as the primary focus, not business as the primary focus. And so they started from there. But I hope that this cuts across. And you're looking at associations, and people are making deals, and people are making movements for improvement in their league. Can't say the same thing about Nigeria. I mean, you barely find a groundbreaking Nigeria story. So always, I saw the LMC release that the NPFL is one of the highest paying sports. Where's data to support? We are the players. I don't like all these random statements. You, let's see the league, let's see the structure, let's see your TV rights deal. When are we going to see this TV station that people signed a deal with? All those things we need to see. But with the WMBPA, you've put it on the table. This is what we're going to get, and it's numbers and it's statistics, and it was all released to the press, so we know the figures, how much they're going to earn in what. So we need to see these kind of things come to Nigeria, to the Nigerian sporting scene. But congratulations to the WNBA.
Yeah,
Good step in the right
congratulations.
direction, yes.
Congratulations.
Moving from Nigeria to Australia now, we have that qualifying for the Australian Open Grand Slam was delayed Wednesday as toxic smoke from widespread bushfires continued to shroud Melbourne, according to the organizers. The decision to push back time players take a court followed a qualifier retiring with breathing difficulties on Tuesday and Canadian Eugenie Bouchard needing medical attention. Play will not begin before 1 p.m., an hour later than scheduled, with practice sessions also suspended. According to the Tennis Australia, in a statement they released, they said, quote, conditions at Melbourne Park are being constantly monitored. Further discussions will be made using on-site data in consultation with the tournament's medical team, according to the Bureau of Meteorology and scientists from the Victorian Environmental Protection Agency.
Okay, so I do appreciate that the Australian Open has been here a while. I do appreciate that they're monitoring the conditions, but some of the news coming out of Melbourne is not pretty. It's not just the haze; it's that people are getting uncaught and choking and having coughing fits, and there's also it's not just a minor a heat wave that you can drink water and get over it. No, this can cause long-lasting solutions. My dear friends, some of my dear friends cannot go there to watch. If you're asthmatic, for one, you shouldn't be in Melbourne
Okay, so
right now.
it's a long-lasting problem.
Yes, sorry.
No,
Sorry. Long-lasting solutions. Sorry, I'm still thinking of the CBA. Long-lasting conditions that are, I mean, that tennis players really even don't want to hear about, and so players are complaining and saying that why must we hold this tournament now, seeing as conditions are as they are, and it's not mild, it's severe, so it's not good news. And I understand that the Australian Open is monitoring and they don't want to push things, but the conditions are really poor. If you have to push it back by a week, I know why it can be hard for the WTA and the ATP to jig their calendar, because like I said, their calendar is already packed full, which is why I was very upset about the ATP Cup in the first place. But for the health of the players involved, if somebody has to get on court and just start coughing throughout her game, that she has to say, you know what, I'm going to abandon it, I don't need this money that much. It has to cause you to think that perhaps maybe this is different. And so players are already speaking out against it. Like I said, the Australian Open is supposed to start Monday. And it doesn't make any sense for players to continue. So Australian Open, I totally appreciate that you're monitoring the situation, but can you monitor the health of the tennis players?
Because they might just be concerned about
just by a week.
money.
Just by a week.
Yeah. All right, thank you very much, Tega. We have from Barcelona that Barcelona boss couldn't have imagined new job in wildest dreams. So Setien says he could not imagine becoming Barcelona manager in his wildest dreams. Former Real Betis coach was named Barca boss on Monday following Ernesto Valverde's sacking based on Tega's recommendation. I want to thank this institution, he said, for giving me the chance. He made this statement at his first news conference and continued saying, not even in my wildest dreams could I have imagined this. I have to thank the club. I'm excited about this challenge and this project. And then yesterday I was walking around my hometown with cows around me, and now I'm here at Barcelona managing the best players in the world.
How come everybody's always talking about managing cows before they manage players? I'm not understanding this thing. That's how Pochettino said he could never manage Barcelona. He'd rather work in a farm in Argentina. What is wrong with people and cows and farms? But it was not my recommendation. It was my protest.
Mhm.
because I didn't recommend politely. I was carrying placards every day, standing at Camp Nou. Hey, people, sack this man. Okay, so it was protest. It wasn't a polite request.
Mhm.
But what it is, and I do appreciate the concerns from many sides that the way and manner it was done was a bit tacky. Then again, that's down to President Batuemu. He's another person that should go, but we'll discuss his sack another day.
Yeah.
However, it was clear that there was something missing in Barcelona from the minute results started coming in. They said from the minute he started marking the Barcelona scripts. Barcelona is more than a club that just, especially with the lofty standards, it's more than a club that they just go there and stumble to the title. Or you do wuru wuru to the answer, whichever one makes you more comfortable. But they expect you, because they've tested some some measure of success that can make them go back. So you can't just get to the point with Barcelona where you're just getting results. You have to play football that is exciting. You have to play it consistently, and you cannot be going to teams with advantage like 3-0 and ending up losing the tie. It just doesn't make any sense. And so all these things, all these results built up to the sack. Well, you also have to thank Diego Simeone and Atletico Madrid, because it was their win was the final straw that broke the camel's back. But what it is, Santiago was not the first choice. Clearly not.
It was Pochettino, wasn't it?
We had Xavi. They traveled
Oh.
to go and see Xavi, and that was confirmed. We had Pochettino somewhere around, but Pochettino was like had coach Espanyol and say, I'd rather go to the farmer. What a nonsense, man! You don't have. I don't want to say this too much. I'm a child that watched football in the late 80s and early 90s, so I understand what club loyalty is. But listen to me, Pochettino. You're even from Argentina. Espanyol Barcelona rivalry should be none of your business. You were just the manager of Espanyol. My friend, if Barcelona comes with good money, move. Stop being silly. Because you know what? Tomorrow, something may happen between you and your rival, and Espanyol will hire a rival.
Exactly.
There's no loyalty. So why don't you wake up and smell the fresh coffee? But that's his personal principle, or that's his personal problem. On the other hand, Setien is happy to have the job. Problem with Setien, he's coming at a time where Barcelona are low in confidence. They are questioning the position of different players, and then they have Luis Suarez out for 4 months. So that he's not really hitting the ground running. He's going to have to try positions like bringing Griezmann to play through the middle. Griezmann does not like playing through the middle. Some coaches say he's better through the middle, but a player is not comfortable playing that way, he may not deliver his best results. So let's see how it goes. And Barcelona doesn't plan to buy up front. They're depending on Ousmane Dembele trying to stay healthy finally. I don't know what kind of miracle they want to do, and Ansu Fati coming on. So it's a tricky time for Setien to come in. So as excited as he is, his first action should not be celebration. It should be, how do I get wins without Luis Suarez in this formation? Yeah.
Now, Romelu Lukaku, we know he scored after just 21 seconds as he bagged a brace in a 4-1 thumping of Cagliari that fired Inter Milan into the last 8 of the Italian cup, while Lazio and Napoli are set for a quarterfinal clash after easing past second-tier opposition. Now, Belgian Lukaku has looked a player reborn since moving to Italy, and his double took his hot streak to 6 goals in the last 4 appearances in all competitions, with the Serie A tally standing at 14 in 19 games.
Wow. So the guy that doesn't have first touch enough for Manchester United is scoring anyhow in Italy. This life, inside life. But what it is he's found some sort of happiness. Yes, there's still the racism that happened a few weeks ago, but he's found some sort of happiness and chemistry with in Inter Milan, playing good football, scoring goals that the club actually needs. If you told Antonio Conte that well, we want to sell Lou. Before you say Kaku, your sentence, he will drop kick
He
you.
said, no, no, no,
He
no, no,
doesn't-
no.
he's not even a negotiation. So he's enjoying his life in Italy, and he's bringing results. So congratulations to him and Inter Milan. I really do hope that they can keep pushing that title fight with Juventus in the Serie A, and also try to get something in the Italian Cup, because they've played so much good football that they deserve to end up with a trophy.
Yeah.
Whether they will end up with a trophy, we do not know.
We'll find out very shortly. All right, then. Well, just round off saying that Lukaku has got more than the whole of Manchester United. He has got more form. That is actually definitely a great way to enter into the hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola moment. Stay tuned, Lagos. We'll be going into that. Don't forget, get your banter ready as we go into battle.
Okay, so when you come back, you're introducing.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you're taking the first story. You have to be sharp.
So there's I don't know, I never informed you. I never told you earlier. There's a policy.
Because this is sponsored.
Introductions
Sit
are
down.
done at the beginning of the show or during the break. If you come in between, we can't get you announced.
Yeah.
No, I'll just letting you know, just in case.
Oh no
I always
no!
wondered why you don't step in at 8:15 or before.
Traffic.
Traffic.
I literally
Oh,
just
yes,
got
go
off the
on.
road.
Okay, so
Sorry.
you will do this. You introduce her. No, you introduce the segment. Then she'll take the first time. And you have to remember. Now we are training wheels. So we are announcing her training wheels.
Okay.
So it's not like
Yeah.
oh welcome and that's
yeah,
what
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
training wheels.
Yeah, okay.
So that they know that she's
Soft.
training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Do you understand what?
Bring her in softly.
Okay.
So that.
Okay.
So don't announce her like you
Yeah,
know how
like
you announce
someone new.
brutalistic. Yeah.
Would make it very soft. We'll make both soft. How are you feeling?
Good. Second time.
When did you do it? That
She
was the
did it
first
once.
time.
She's done it once before.
But I
But
wasn't here.
you know,
No, you were not
Twice.
there. Oh yeah,
Twice.
true, twice. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, we're coming back now, children of God. Like Coca-Cola. Mike's up. You heard it right. It's time to banter better with Coca-Cola. Hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola. This segment is brought to you by Coca-Cola. It's the Locker Room 981 here on Smooth 98.1. I'm Ayo Myra SA.
And I'm Valentine who?
And we have Brutalistics here in the studio. Hi, Brutalistics.
Hello, greetings. How's everyone doing?
Hello, Brutalistics.
Why is she laughing there?
She finds it funny.
Somebody
Daddy.
cannot be happy again.
And then, of course, we have Tega.
Oh
She's
yes,
still here.
I'm still here. And just a reminder, the best banter. I wanted to say the baddest, but we're bantering better with Coca-Cola.
Mhm.
So the best banter, the one of the best banter will come into the studio next week.
I'm
So
looking forward
please
to that.
sharpen those swords. Pull out your 10 pegs, how they call it in House on the Rock.
Wow.
to church.
I'm taking it church, and then bring on your best. It has to be witty. We have to laugh, but it shouldn't be derogatory. It shouldn't be insultive, and it should be clean of every vulgar term. So let's hit the road.
Let's hit the road. Now we're hitting the road with Inselbong. Insel morning, how you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Valentine.
I'll be taking the recent beating of that.
Why must we always start
why-
banter better with
Wait, excuse
Arsenal?
me. Who beat who? When was this beating?
There was a
Who
beating.
witnessed the
When?
beating?
I just know, I heard.
Were you the beater or
Please,
the beating?
I'm aware of the beating and I'm aware of the club.
She'll come and take Valentine out of the studio. I don't even want him seated beside me.
Those two things
No,
exist.
Sean isn't even a good person to ask right now.
Yeah, the worst of the worst.
All right. So let's talk about Arsenal. Now, Mikel Arteta says Arsenal players must step forward in strikers' absence. Arsenal's head coach, Arteta, says his players are going
And I'm
to...
the one who starts with Arsenal.
It's your fault, actually. When you think about it, it's your fault.
All right, so we'll come back to that. Okay, let's not start with Arsenal. Traditionally, we do. So let's go to Tottenham.
Yeah.
So we knew it was going to be difficult. Mourinho and Middlesbrough draw. Tottenham boss Jose Mourinho said that 3-0 was so close so many times. I told my players at halftime we don't score to make it 3-0. Then if we went 2-1, we would be in trouble, and it happened. We knew the opponents were hard. They brought on Gestede and went direct and made problems. And when it was 2-1, we knew it was going to be difficult.
All right, so Jose Mourinho's honeymoon is over. And I would say there hasn't been much of a cause for celebration at Tottenham Hotspur in recent weeks. So Jose Mourinho did not need any encouragement to compare his two Argentinian goal scorers in this FA Cup third round replay to their most famous compatriots at the club. Also, this was Spurs' first win in 5 games at all competitions, and the trip to resurgent Watford on Saturday would ask many more questions of them than were posed in the first half. Beyond that, they now have a 4th round FA Cup tie with away to Southampton, who beat them in the league on New Year's Day. Also, I would like to add that Tottenham, who have only taken 1 point from their past 3 Premier League matches, return to league action on Saturday when they play at Watford. So the 4th round FA Cup tie at Southampton will be played on Saturday, 25th January. It was a good game. It was great. Also for Middlesbrough, having lost the match, they have to play again in 3 days' time with an away match in the Champions at Fulham on Friday.
Nice.
Yes.
Well
So
done.
All right, thank you very much, Intel.
Hey, look, overall, Middlesbrough literally for me are the winners in this whole thing. You took first a replay against Premier League club. That's financial revenue that many clubs dare to dream of in the Championship and all of that stuff. And look, we must also say that though Jonathan Woodgate, who coaches Middlesbrough, was a colossal failure in his playing career. I mean, injury plagued and all of that stuff.
No, he was an English player.
He was a colossal failure, injury plagued, failed in Madrid. Just a general failure player wise. But he's building his name gradually as a with Middlesbrough, and he's done a good job forcing the replay and then taking Tottenham, to the edge on this.
Yeah.
Again, Tottenham have failed to get a clean sheet. It is a worry considering that Mourinho is somebody who is supposedly good at shutouts.
Personally, I'll say, yeah, his impact has not yet started. I think right now he's just trying to get the right results. And then he'll start to impose philosophy.
All right, hashtag banter better Coca-Cola. Zizi Classic is first. He says, I'll miss Coach Ernesto Valverde so much after changing Barcelona's style of play from tiki-taka to zigzag.
Wow.
As for Coach Setien, I congratulate you, sir, after walking past cows to become the shepherd of goats of all times. That is Lionel Messi.
Oh, I like
Love
that. I
it,
like
love
Zizi
it, love
Classic.
it,
I like
love
Zizi
it, love
Classic.
it.
Well done. Well done. Banter better with Coca-Cola. Hashtag now. I want to banter Tega. This one says, please add your names to your messages. Next, we'll skip. Well, it says, the way she has hounded Valverde in analysis is below the belt, and now supporting a trophy-less coach is hypocritical. It's nothing like Barcelona or Manchester United or Arsenal way. There's nothing the coach can do with these aging Barcelona players.
Okay, all right.
We'll be here. How many times have you actually seen, in recent time, have you seen Barcelona hire a coach as won trophies before? Okay. Yeah, how many times? In recent times, think about it.
Literally not.
They don't do that. They just wake up
They
and
just come to Barcelona
Yeah,
and
and
then
then
go away with a CV that they have won trophies.
Thank you. So,
right,
whoever you are.
Dio from Sholu says, hashtag banter better Coca-Cola. The rise of one Valverde signaled the end of one. United has been linked with all the players under the moon, including Ayegbeni and Roberto Carlos. Once Fergie time ended, so did United. Make them come wash their head for Ocean River, because if we don't make UCL, we go beat Ole like Ole.
So I'm writing names down. I've seen Zizi Classic and Solu. Please send in that banter. I need to hear more.
All right, so Manchester United have scrapped plans for a training camp in the Middle East because of fears over player safety, but tensions caused by the brewing conflict between the United States and Iran have prompted United into a rethink. Here's what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer told the news conference on Tuesday. Quote, we were looking at Middle East, but that is definitely not going to happen. If there's one thing that worries me, it's not on the football pitch. there are other things that will worry me much more than football, guys.
Yeah, look, FA Cup replay is on for them, and really they should worry less about the Middle East and address the FA Cup before them and other issues around the performance of the team. You got rid of bad one touch Lukaku, and now you are blessed with all bad touches Martial. So but look, you have what you
Oh, no
have.
touch matter.
You have what you have. You've got to try and make it work. And so far, they have not really been consistent. Let us not be fooled by I put it in quote and unquote, a fantastic performance against Norwich City in the league. It was Norwich. Apart from Arsenal, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but I've gone there again. Apart from Arsenal, anybody else can really get a good result against Norwich City. So that's not a template for judging
I
where
take
they come to.
exception to that comment.
But is that why you
Exception
said
taken.
they are not rich?
Anyway, moving on.
Please invite Valentine next week.
No, it's not. We don't have space. We don't have space.
Look, the way Manchester United season has gone so far, it is literally imperative that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has a decent cup run. Anything short of that will already add to a litany of failures that he has had in recruitment, in results, and all around morale in Manchester United. The boardroom issues are still the boardroom issues. I think that Woodward is another person who maybe Tega should sack
Yeah,
her
yeah, I'm
placard for.
campaigning for
Yeah,
some backroom staff to be sacked.
Placard.
Yeah.
She wants Bartolomeo gone.
Valverde was
She will
gone,
help
yeah.
Manchester United fans by promoting Woodward out.
Yes.
All right. Adams on Twitter says traffic 1, brutalistics nil. But Lagos Inside Life saw it on YouTube. This is why you should be watching our YouTube channel.
Yes,
Wait.
youtube.com/smooth
Hey.
91 FM Lagos.
I'm watching you.
Wait, so Poch prefers to be a cowboy than a Barcelona coach now. Wow. Hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola.
Soon.
And then on YouTube we have from Collins in it, and the banter winner should be original. Let's not get a stolen tweet banter winner. EFCC must be involved. Hashtag banter
Are you telling
better.
us something?
But so Colin, so to make it open now, I've already said I've seen two nice tweets. You see classics
Yeah.
and Soluyi.
Jayon
So-
from Sholi.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go on to some more comments. Chime Nancy says, hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola. Arsenal have been struggling even with their strikers. Please tell me how they can perform without their strikers. If it means borrowing strikers, they should do so. Arsenal without strikers, shaking my head.
Wow. Toxical says, please add the hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola. It's Egbo Ernest lost 6 matches, got sacked. Ole has lost 26 matches with 27 wins and still making noise.
Different
Maybe for
clubs.
the future.
Taya from Yaba says, this Sentient fellow, is he a herder or a football fan? Hope he knows his job description. Otherwise, he'll be hashtag sent out. You've already gotten hashtag. You'll be trending hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola.
Okay, I'm still writing names.
A herder is not a derogatory term. It's a profession. Biggie from Gizu says, I'm sure Tega's New Year resolutions lists, the number 3 thing there is Ernest Valverde out. Now she sticked it. Banter better with Coca-Cola. And yesterday was my birthday. I love you, Tega.
Oh, happy birthday.
Biggie.
Well done.
And then Ojo says, hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola. Valverde's sack was not only based on Tega's recommendations and placard carrying, it was also based on the recommendations of the committee that looked into Tega's recommendations.
Nice one.
All right. So Chelsea end interest in Nathan Ake and Callum Wilson. Chelsea are on to exercise their £40 million buyback option for Nathan and will not be bidding for Bournemouth's teammate Callum Wilson.
Look, everybody and his dog actually thought that they were going to do this. There's still a lot of options for Chelsea. What is probably more important for them now is to concentrate on continuing to get results in the Premier League. The battle for 4th place is real, ladies and gentlemen. That battle is real.
Instead
Everybody.
of what now with the way Leicester is playing without Ndidi.
You make a fair point, actually. But let's just limit it to 4th at the moment. That age group, they should just keep together for now. Look, a series of bad results for Chelsea and a string of 2 or 3 wins by everybody else suddenly can put them out of that thing. I don't think that he has a squad that he actually needs to vigorously invest in at the moment. If I were Chelsea, I would wait till the summer and consider all your options then.
All right, thank you very much. Sheyi says, hashtag banter better Coca-Cola. Valentine, see life. Ole chased Lukaku because of goals. Now Lukaku is chasing goals like Ole. In Italy, Tega, why are you standing whispering to Aya and looking at as if you are appealing for Aubameyang's
You can only see those kind of things on YouTube, so be trying it out on YouTube to see.
That's why you have to watch. Dio from Trolui says, hashtag banter better with Coca-Cola. How times have changed. It was formerly Arsenal that couldn't sign a player. The way United is pricing Bruno Fernandes and Koulibaly like Ataro. And Woodard. First window, one here word, go hospital. Wow.
And then we have from Gbemi, I guess Barca became so bad they needed a saint. Hashtag Banter Better Coca-Cola. Nice one,
Thank you
nice
so
one,
much,
guys.
guys.
And then the real Femi says Woodgate on YouTube was a solid player at Leeds. He was just unfortunate with injuries. Hashtag Banter Better.
He said at Leeds. You mentioned on that call.
Okay, I talked about Real Madrid now.
Okay.
All
Anyways, so today so far, there's a rate card.
Yes.
So today, ZC Classics, Dio from Solu, Yi, and Tayo are on it. So we'll see if they still make the cut again on Friday, and then we pick a winner.
Oh my goodness!
So you see, you see how my election, we are not picking fourth place people.
No, yes.
We
We're being very
are
transparent.
we are being very transparent.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Brilliant.
So are you saying that my
I did not
votes-
say anything.
Are you saying that my votes have been
Once we discuss that, please follow Brutally6 at Brutally6 on Twitter, and then follow Tega at Tega Supreme and LIS International for work with ladies in sports. Next up, we have a Lagos Socks special. We're going to be talking about ending, protecting our environment and ending of single-use plastics. Make sure you stay tuned. We have special guests with us joining us.
Make sure we have them for when.